picture it. It was 2013 in Sicily. Me and Jaleva, Nephalia Scourge, were having some spaghetti when suddenly Nekusar appeared out of nowhere and said, "Give me back my wife." I said, "Mamma mia." Now, one of my kind patrons, I'm not sure which one, probably Tyler, but they're all just a bunch of thunder chads if you ask me, dude, asked if I would chat about some classic commanders, and there's no better place to start than Commander 2013. That's when I started learning Commander, learning the ways of the deck. 100 card, very large decks. So listen, man, if you dig this, like and subscribe to the channel, brother. I just put a fresh Discord invite in the social tabs up there. There are a couple hundred dudes in there. They're getting games. It's getting bigger every day, man. You can also support the channel on Patreon. This is all free, man. I want to keep it that way. The kind patrons make that a little more viable. So let's dive in here. We're going to decide once and for all if these classics hold up. And along the way, we're going to admire some fantastic art from a simpler time. And let's start it off with Jaleva, Nephalia Scourge. 1 blue, black, and a red for a legendary creature, Vampire Wizard. It's a 1/3 with flying. When she enters the battlefield, each player exiles the top X cards of their library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast Jaleva. Whenever Jaleva attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among cards exiled with or without paying its mana cost. So obviously, you structure your deck with a little top deck manipulation. Make sure you get the biggest and best haymakers you can get your hands on. It's a fun, interesting deck, man. It's a little unusual to utilize the commander tax like this. Now, the art on this is classic. It's bonkers, very dangerous looking, evocative, dude. I had to know more about this. I read all the lore back in the day. She's from Innistrad, but you know what? I forgot the rest of it, dude, because it's not that important. She's just a hot lady flying through the sky, looking like she wants to bite your head off. It's a pretty diesel Grixis Spellslinger deck, and casting War Spheres for free feels really good. And although not super powerful by today's standards, I think Jaleva has withstood the test of time. She's still a very unique card and continues to rock. Now, this set had some bangers. Take a look at Deri, Imperial Tactician, green, white, and blue for a legendary creature, Bird Wizard. It's a 2/3 with flying. Whenever Deri enters the battlefield or a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may tap or untap target permanent. Pretty dope. It has a 1 green, white, and blue. Put Deri onto the battlefield from the command zone. So you're forgetting about all that commander tax. Take a look at this bird, man. Is it me or is Deri a little hot, dude? Break me off a piece of that owl, buddy. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Unless, in reality, Deri ends up being a really super dope stacks commander. I don't know why, dude. It should be a combo ramp commander, but every deck I've ever faced has been a stacks machine. Maybe it's the colors. Honestly, Deri still rips, has withstood the test of time, and the test of my testicles. Then we come to Gahiji, the Honored One. 2 red, green, and a white for a legendary creature beast. It's a 4/4. Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents or a planeswalker an opponent controls, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. He can stir the gentlest spirit to wild ferocity. Yeah, man, take a look at this guy. He incentivizes opponents attacking each other, could make good use of goad mechanics that are fairly new, in the past 5 years or so. The sad truth about this guy is that he's kind of power crept out, man. If this was printed today, he'd be a 6/6 with trample, cost 4 mana. Gahiji might be a little bunk. Let's check out this guy, Morra, Will of the Wild, red, green, white for a legendary creature, elemental beast. It's a 0/0. This guy enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. Has X, remove X +1/+1 counters, choose 1. Put your +1/+1 counters on target creature. Morra deals X damage to any target, X can't be 0. Create XX elemental green creature token, X can't be 0. Another beast, literally and figuratively. Morra is a counters machine, can weaponize your +1/+1 counters for damage or, another guy out there. It's nice you can activate that ability at instant speed too. I do dig this guy, and the multitude of hardened scales effects and counter doublers and proliferators makes Morra a little more powerful in the modern metagame. But it's still not anywhere near what I would call super powerful. Neat card and flavor though. Now, this card did not debut in Commander 2013, but it's in there, so I'm going to talk about it. Myel, the Anima, red, green, and a white for a legendary creature, Elf Shaman. It's a 2/3. Has 3 red, green, and a white. Tap it. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card with power 5 or greater from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. The sacred Anima's eyes are blind to all but the grandest truths. Hey, where's your girlfriend, dude? Well, she's hiding amongst the blossoms, where she always is, brother. I really like her little leaf hat. It's very chic. This card is originally from Alloro, but I'm slapping it in here anyways, man. Ironically, both Naya commanders we just talked about aren't eligible to get cheated in. Curious. This might be a hot take, but I think Myel is a little powered out, man. Can be a kind of a fun deck, though. How about this guy, Nekusar, the Fresh Maker? 2 blue, black, and a red for a legendary creature, Zombie Wizard. It's a 2/4. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar, the Mind Razor, deals 1 damage to that player. His enemies wondered if the Lich King's brutal death and unnatural rebirth had been his plan all along, dude. Just like Joe Biden, dude. Wheels. This guy's the wheels master. Weaponizing wheels. I love this guy in Grixis, man. I'm such a menace. I had to build a control shell just to avoid being hated off the damn table. The problem with this guy is he draws your opponents into answers for him. You know, but with all the redundant effects, this guy can end the game with a wheel or 2. Great card. Still rips in the year of our Lord 2024. Next up, we got Alloro, Ageless Muscle Man. 3 white, blue, and a black for a legendary creature, Giant Soldier. It's a 4/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card and each opponent loses 1 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Alloro is in the command zone, you gain 2 life anyway, man. Would you believe this guy is $20? We'll believe it. You're having a wizard duel, right? This guy can't even be bothered to stand up. This guy has impeccable drip. He's wearing barbarian gear. He's sitting in the command zone gaining life. I have an Alloro deck and it isn't particularly good, but he's an unparalleled life gain commander and the prototype for Eminence. He holds up, dude. He's getting tired from holding the rest of us up too. Now what about this guy? Prosh, the Sky Raider of Care. 3 black, green, and a red for a legendary creature, Dragon. It's a 5/5. When you cast a spell, create X01 red kobold creature tokens named the Kobolds of Care Keep, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast it. This guy's also got flying. Sacrifice another creature, Prosh of Sky Raider of Care gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Free sack outlet in the command zone, brings his own suite of sack fodder. Prosh was once a CDH staple. Dig out food chain and you're all set, dude. Prosh is awesome. He's burninating the people. He's burninating the countryside. Can't beat this guy, man. Rune of the Hidden Realm. Come on, dude. 2 green, blue, and a white for a legendary creature, Rhino Soldier. It's a 4/4 with Vigilance and Trample Stamples. 2 and tap, exile another target creature, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Time and space are just new battlefields for this guy. Where is he? He's in the Hidden Realm, brother. He's holding his staff aloft in the sun with his mysterious minaret tower. He's squat. He's ready to pull some deadlifts. The original Flicker Blink commander, Rune, is a little powered out, but lives forever in our hearts. And how about Rubinia Soul Singer? 2 green, blue, and a white for a legendary creature, Fairy. It's a 2/3. You may choose not to untap it during your untap step. As tap, gain control of target creature for as long as you control Rubinia, and Rubinia remains tapped. You want to go way back, man. This card goes all the way back to Legends. Rubinia is a neat card, kind of a weird build around, but I use similar effects in certain decks. She has a chilling effect on the game, but not on my nether region. Then we have Sekuar, the Death Keeper. 2 black, red, and a green for a legendary creature, Orc Shaman. It's a 4/3. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, create a 3/1 black and red Graveborn creature token with haste. The Orcs believe Sekuar still lives in the Carplusan Mountains, gathering his dead army intent on revenge, just like Conrad Kurtz in Apocalypse Now. I like this guy. Jund Aristocrats, Sacrifice Engines. Unfortunately for this guy, even more so because of his sweet hat, I gotta tell you he's kind of a stinker in the modern meta, unless you're looping non-token creatures in and out with your reassembling skeletons or Gravecrawler loops or something like that. Then you're creating an arbitrarily large amount of 3/1 red and black Graveborn creature tokens with haste. So, not terrible, but this guy's 5 mana, you know what I mean? The Graveborn token is pretty dope though. It's unironically silly. Sharum, the Hegemon. 3 white, blue, and a black legendary artifact creature, Sphinx. It's a 5/5 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. To gain audience with the Hegemon, you must bring a riddle she has not heard, dude. Gotta tell her a story, brother. You know? Spread the romance around. The Sphinx lady used to be a little more powerful, was a combo machine. If Sharum the Hegemon is put into your graveyard as a state-based action, immediately after Sharum the Hegemon enters the battlefield, most likely due to the legend rule, it can be the artifact card targeted by its own ability. That's from the rulings, so I didn't make it up, man. It's a damn 2-card combo with our boy Phyrexian Metamorph. Great old card that debuted in Shards of Alloro. I like how there are some little dudes worshipping in the art, bringing her wine and stuff. Shatter Gang brothers, looking decidedly British out there. 1 black, red, and a green legendary creature, Goblin Artificer. It's a 3/3. Has 2 and a black, sacrifice a creature. Each other player sacrifice a creature. Fantastic. 2 and a red, sack an artifact. Each other player sacks an artifact. Has 2 and a green, sack an enchantment. Each other player sacks an enchantment. I will say this, man, this guy is a cool card. I'm not sure how powerful they are compared to modern sack outlets. It depends on how stacksy you want to be. I do like the fact that these guys have access to treasures now. They got access to clues. They got access to foods. All those crazy things, man. I do like it as a non-combo sacrifice commander. These guys are doing a French Revolution, man. Viva la Goblin! And that brings us to Sidri, the Galvanic Genius. White, blue, and a black legendary creature, human artificer. It's a 2/2. Has blue, target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its mana value until end of turn. Has white and a black, target artifact creature gains death touch and lifelink until end of turn. Love this card, man. So many possibilities. Artifacts are a powerful archetype, but look at that art, man. Looks like a young Jennifer Connelly out there. I think this can be pretty powerful, pretty unique with all the artifact support that's come out in recent years. Could do a vehicle deck, turn those mana rocks into pilots for your vehicles, and blast off, buddy. And though this card did not debut in Commander 2013, I'm talking about it anyway, man, because this is my video, dude. Thraxmundar. 4 blue, black, and a red for a legendary creature, zombie assassin. Has haste. It's a 6/6. Whenever this guy attacks, defending player sacks a creature. Whenever a player sacks a creature, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Thraxmundar. His name means he who paints the earth red. This guy's an interior decorator. I did a steal and sack deck around this guy back in the day, man. It's certainly more viable with today's cards, but Thraxmundar isn't lean and mean. 7 mana is a ton for a commander, but he does have native haste. Edicts galore for this guy, fleshbag, marauder effects, theft, sub-theme makes her fun, if less than super powerful deck. So what do you guys think? I want to hear what you think in the comments below. Do these older commanders hold up? Are these classics crapping in the bed in their old age like our frankly pathetic presidential candidates? You tell me, dude. But if there's one thing I like about the elderly, the geriatric train wrecks running the country, it's that they embrace the use of diapers, man. You know, just poop your pants, dude, because that's better commander, buddy. Nikki G, signing off.